And just like that, welcome to the grand final preview. So, this is it. It is Thursday. Grand final is in 2 days. Went to the open training session today. There's been a little bit of news with like who comes in, who goes out and stuff like that. I'm not sorry who goes out, but who comes in and stuff like that. So we'll break it all down, give you my honest thoughts and stuff like that. And it's just gonna be a normal preview, except this is a preview for the grand final. So let's get into it. So Saturday, 2:30, Collingwood, Brisbane, MCG, grand final. 20 years on since 2003. Craig McRae, Justin Lepich. You've seen my video of storylines. So many, if you haven't, it's the previous video. And this is it. This is the decider. This is what we've been waiting for. It's what we've been building towards all season. Minor premiers, finish on top of the ladder for a reason. We beat Melbourne, we beat the Giants, and then we go on and play Brisbane, the second best side in the whole entire league. So, props to Brisbane for getting up there as well. But last 6 times, we've lost the last 6 to Brisbane, both Marvel, all Marvel, all the Gabba. So we get to verse them, or play them, at the MCG. And look, I guess I'll just jump straight into it. The MCG, wide ground, we play there all the time. We know it's our home ground, obviously. And I feel like, even if it's just a 1% differentiating factor as to why I think we can win, you kind of have to take it, right? Brisbane like to play that sort of congested, high pressure, through the corridor when they can, run down the Gabba, run down Marvel, because we know Marvel's a little bit smaller, and that's why they like Marvel and they like the Gabba so much. Obviously, Gabba's the fortress. With the MCG, because it's so wide and a little bit longer as well, I feel like Collingwood, we're going to go very wide. I know that we like to play through the corridor as well, but I feel like we're going to go very wide, or if we're down the corridor, we're going to switch it a lot. We haven't played the Lions at the MCG since 2017. So it's going to be very different. And we're always saying, oh, can't wait to get them at the G, can't wait to get them at the G. We got them at the G now, and it's time to prove a point. And I know that Collingwood, at the last couple of open trainings and stuff like that, they've been practicing going very lateral and diagonal, spreading out the ground as much as they can. Still their sort of run and all that sort of stuff, but we're going to sort of use the wider ground and the longer ground of the G to hopefully give us a little bit, at the moment it's 50-50, and you kind of just want to nudge the arrow to our side just a little bit more. And I think it's really going to. Collingwood, the last 2 times we played the Lions this year, Lions have scored a lot from turnovers, 70-something points in the first game, 80-something points in the game at Marvel. So we have to watch that, right? It's because they're a very high pressure team, and you saw that game in the Gabba at the start of the year. They were pressuring us. We kicked the first couple of goals, but then they really came back. Charlie Cameron came alive. They were crowding us, and they were stopping our run off half back. So hopefully with the wider sort of ground, we get to play that game a little bit more. It will be difficult, of course, but I think it's going to work to our advantage. Once we turn that ball over, we've got to hunt in packs to get the ball back. We can't afford, in a grand final, 70 to 80 points scored because we're turning over the ball. On the inverse side of that, though, is we play our game off halfback. That's where we score a lot of our goals from. When we played the Brisbane Lions at Marvel in round 21, 22, 20 or 21, whenever it was, I think it was 11 of our 15 goals I was reading were from clearances. So a really good clearance side. You have to remember that last time that we played Brisbane at Marvel, or we just played Brisbane in general, no Degoe, no Moore, no Bobby Hill, no Nick Dacos. We get all 4 of those guys back for this grand final decider. So you take your 3 best players, 4 best players out of any team, and of course you're going to struggle. We only lost that game by 24 points. Brisbane did kick 124 points. We kicked 100 points. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring on Saturday, to be honest. I think it's going to be a real war of attrition, but I think it's going to be a really, really good game. This opportunity that we have for a 16th flag is incredible, right? 2 years, or even last year, we lose the prelim by a point and we're here. The year before that, we finished 17th. Craig McRae takes over, revolutionises the whole club. To go from 17th 2 years ago to a flag in 2 years would be just like beyond incredible, right? And you've seen my video again, storylines, so many storylines going into this game. But this one means so much because it's not like we were 7th playing bad football and we somehow made it to the grand final. We've been the best team all year. I know we've fallen off a little bit. You know, the Melbourne game, the Giants game, we haven't kicked really big scores, but we have kept teams to, we kept the Giants to what, 50-something points, kept Melbourne to 60-something points. So our defense is elite. We work really well. If we can keep Brisbane to 50, 60 points, you'd be absolutely laughing and taking that all the way to the bank. So that's where the game's got to be won and lost. Our intercept markings, you know, you've got Hipwood, Danaher down forward. Charlie Cameron, very dangerous, has kicked 10 goals on us just this season. So they've got a really potent forward line. We've got a really potent back line. Intercept marking is going to be huge. Does Quaynor go on to Charlie Cameron? Do they send Maynard on to Cameron? It's going to be a sort of wait and see, because Cameron is that sort of X factor that can get the Lions going if they're down or if they need that spark. So he's one that I'm definitely looking out for, because if he gets going, who really knows what can happen. But I think with the inclusion of Darcy Moore down the back, Nathan Murphy just keeps growing. Isaac Quaynor just keeps getting better. Intercept marking and reading the play. Jeremy Howe is getting better. That's going to be key to how we, not only stop their attack, but it's going to be key with how we set up our attack. You just have to look to what Carlton did in that first quarter last week against the Lions. They kicked, 5 goals to 1 or 5 goals to 0 in the last quarter with repeat inside 50s. Plus, they were plus a dozen in stoppages, and their pressure was off the charts. We have to start really strong. I anticipate us putting 4 goals on in that first quarter to maybe 2 to the Lions. We've got to start really strong and put the game, not to bed, but put the game in the sort of Lions' court. Jordan DeGoey, Braden Maynard, whoever you talk to, in 2018, when we put those 5 goals against West Coast, they say that we went into super defensive mode and we tried to keep the game instead of try to win the game. Sorry, try not to lose the game instead of try to win the game. That doesn't happen under Craig McRae anymore. We keep fighting, we keep going. In each of our games, we have an average of about 30 minutes where we absolutely dominate, kicks 5, 6, 7 goals. That comes usually around the second or the third quarter. And that's what I'm going to want from the players. I'm going to want them to put on 5, 6, 7 goals in a row and absolutely nullify anything the Lions can do. Now, ins and outs as of today, which is like 5 o'clock-ish. Billy Frampton comes in place of Dan McStay. You know I'm a big Billy Frampton guy. The thing that I love about Billy Frampton, he can play forward, he can play ruck, he can play in the back line. I don't think he gets switched to the back line unless they want to put maybe Darcy Moore or Jeremy Howe up forward as a little bit of a how's it going. Can play in the ruck so we can chuck Mason Cox into the forward line because we know the big Texan loves the big stage. But as a forward, I don't see him kicking 4, 5, 6 goals and taking all these clunks like Dan McStay does. He's going to be the defensive forward that nullifies Harris Andrews, because Harris Andrews is that guy who's kind of like he's the Darcy Moore of Brisbane, right? So he's going to be that guy that's going to negate any sort of attack that we have. If we can get one-on-ones with Billy Frampton, just sort of take him out of the contest, don't let him get those runs, don't let him get those intercept marks, that's where we're going to be able to kick out big scores. Patrick Lipinski is the sub, which means that Jack Ginnivan it'll be confirmed in about an hour or so, should be our into our 22, and he's going to be that buy starter. Him, Bobby Hill, Bo McCreary. We saw what Bobby Hill can do, 5 goals in the last 2 finals. And if he gets on a run with Ginnivan, once Ginnivan kicks that first goal of his, it's going to be absolutely huge. Now, I'm not going to bog down this grand final preview sort of too much, and we've sort of heard it all and stuff like that. But I do want to say before we go into this game, and I'll do my predictions, that no matter what happens on Saturday, I am so freaking proud of what this team has been able to do from the bottom 2 years ago to a grand final right now, and a very good chance at winning that grand final. It is incredible. It's going to be an incredible day. Please, I just ask you to soak it all in. You know, it's okay to be nervous, it's okay to be confident, but soak it all in. Go to the grand final parade, you know, get to the G early, do the activities outside, soak it all in. Grand finals don't come easy, and who knows when we're gonna see the next one. So this is our best opportunity and your best opportunity to soak it all in. Now, big predictions. So I'll do my prediction, obviously the winner, and the Norm Smith. So we'll start with Norm Smith. If the Pies are to win, my Norm Smith is either going to be, look, Nick Dacos is probably the easy one to say. Nick Dacos is going to win the Normie. I think Jordan De Goey, after a very big preliminary final, will have an even bigger grand final. He's going to want redemption for 2018, and he's going to want to bring this grand final home, this premiership home. My big call, or my minute winner and margin, obviously I think Collingwood are going to win. I think we're going to win by 4 or 5 goals. I feel pretty confident. I don't know why. I don't know if that's bad or not. But I do feel pretty confident that we are going to win. And we are going to do pretty well. I think the Lions are going to give us a run for our money, and they're going to come out hard. But I do feel like we will run away with it in the third and the fourth quarter. Look, I hate to say it, but I think it is this MCG. I think it does really I think it's advantageous for us to play at the MCG. Neutral ground, you'd probably say Brisbane, but at the MCG, and especially with the Magpie Army, like I know there was only 17,000 Collingwood member tickets, there's going to be thousands and thousands and tens of thousands more Collingwood members scattered throughout, and that once that Collingwood chant goes up, I just need you to be loud and just sing and chant your heart away. But look, this week has been nothing short of amazing and incredible. We have a chance at a 16th flag. It's starting to feel very real now. And in 2 days' time, we'll be singing the national anthem, the roar goes up, first bounce happens, and then it's just out of our hands. And it's 22 versus 22 on the field, fighting for their lives and to etch their names in glory. 20 years after the 2003 grand final, McRae and Lepich, Collingwood don't deserve this grand final win. They've earned this grand final win, if that's what it comes down to. I'm not saying that Brisbane are going to be easy beats. They are going to be absolutely hard to stop. But I got a really good feeling about this. And this, we could be witnessing greatness on Saturday. But look, let me know your thoughts down below. How do you feel going into this game? Your winner, your margin prediction, put your how many people you think there's going to be as well. And let me know your Norm Smith all down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until premiership celebrations on Saturday night, I'll see you then. Double Shackers. Love ya.